So I will just say thank you for joining us. For those that are watching on video, Rusty and I are now going to step aside and do higher realm channeling and let those that know us and love you to come through and chat. Today we'll be chatting about identity. So take a deep breath and give us just a moment.
Identity. When we look down upon you and we see that you each have been given a name, you each have been given a title, you have adopted other names and titles along the way of your life, and yet each of you in this room at the same time are clamoring and saying, please help us get to higher realms, help us get to 5D. But we would tell you that what holds you back is your attachment to your identity. As we just said, when you were born, you were given a name, an identity. You were given a clan or family, an identity. You were shortly thereafter given a belief system called religion, an identity. We would encourage you each and every one of you every day to step back, take some time and look at the identities that you have accumulated over your lifetime. Many of these are easy. These are the low-hanging fruit, we would say. Mother, daughter, father, son, parent, child, teacher, lawyer, banker. These are things that you will immediately come to your mind as what you have identified who you are as, and yet you are not. These are simply roles in the game. If you wish to rise, if you truly wish to ascend, these are the sandbags of weight that hold you down. These are the things that you must release. But it is not just the low-hanging fruit that you must release, the simple identities that you must release. It is the subtle identities. Do I see myself as successful? Do I see myself as less than successful? Do I see myself as unloved or unloving? These things are also identities that you have layered over the who you are. The ongoing quest that you really are seeking, as you were saying, help us rise, help us ascend. The ongoing quest is simply to remember who you are. The best way to do this is to remember who you are not. You are not just a parent. You are not just a child. As a matter of fact, many of you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and the older, and still consider yourself your parent's child. You are no longer that. Many of you had children in your lifetime, and you still consider yourself their parent. You are not. You are simply a fellow adult interacting with a fellow adult now. So many of these old identities, these old things that we have layered on ourselves, on our bodies, on our minds, on our psyches, to define ourselves inside this realm of illusion, are not us. They are simply disguises that our ego has put on in order to present that to the world. Release these. Release these as quickly as you can. The more you wish to recognize yourself as source, the more you wish to remember home, oneness, the more you wish to bring that energy into your day-to-day life, we would say to you, release the identity that you're not already there. For you are. You just don't remember. Identity. They're useful in the game. They let you know how to interact with each other, but they are not useful in the spiritual realm. They have no place other than the game of life. When you pass, when this body ends and your ego ends, what you find is you have the memory of Source. You fold back into the ocean without an identity. I know this is frightening to some of you. It is especially frightening to your egos, but it is the way it is. You, as an identity, are not. You, as Source, are.
My children, it is fun to play with these identities here in the game. Just know that is what they're for, as was mentioned. They are not who you really are inside. Yet it is okay for you to go, I am a lawyer, a doctor, a job, a relationship. I am a wife, a husband, a spouse, a child. Those are identifiers, identifiers for your avatar inside this game. Those are not who you are in your core. What we are saying here today is how important it is for you to look beyond them, because your identities are much like your clothing. They change. They change in the situation. If you are going someplace that you have to dress up, you change your clothes. You may also change how you act, or your relationship, or your role. If you're doing something with other professionals, you will act one way. If you are doing something with your family, you will act another way. If you are doing something with your friends, that's another outfit, another identity you are putting on. We want you to see these as interchangeable, as fun, as just clothes. You have different identities when you're with different people. You have different roles, different things you do, different ways you act. This is fine. What is so important, though, is that you see beyond. And what was mentioned before is that in order to evolve, in order to move, in order to really understand who you are beneath all of those roles, beneath all of that identity, beneath all of that stuff, garbage, traumas, issues, is still Source, is still connection. What we are here to teach you, what we are here to show you is that those are transient. Those things change and move as you grow and you age. At one point you are the child, and then you are the parent, and then your parent is the child, and it evolves. That's part of the game. That's gameplay. What we want you to do is to look beyond that and to truly see who you are at the core. And at the core of who you are, when you remove all of that baggage, when you remove all of that clothing, is Source, is oneness. You actually are still completely connected. It is as though your hand is different identities, or even different avatars inside the game, but yet it is still connected to this thing you call hand. You may have over here a mother, a child, a brother, a sister, a friend, but they are all still part of the body. They are all still part of the one. Too often you see your own identities as well as the identities of others that you see in the game as separate than you. They are not. They are you. You are them. Inside, underneath, behind all of those faces, those masks, those facades, whatever you wish to call them, the identities that you put on to play the game, which is still needed, still interesting, still fun, enjoy. Change faces, change identities as much as you'd like. By doing that, we hope that you will see they are transient. They are not permanent. You are transient. You are not permanent. The game is transient. it is not permanent. It is important for you to see this as a flow, to see this as movement, to understand that you inside, at the core, are just a finger of source. You are just a piece of source having an experience here. You are just a part of a whole. You feel separate. You feel disconnected. Sit with these words. Sit with yourself. Sit and meditate. Sit and connect to source, whether it is through a visualization, through anukrihealing, through whatever it is that you use. Sit and connect and feel unconditional acceptance. Feel the connection with everything. Feel the connection with source, with your neighbor. The fact that we appear separate is just an illusion. It is part of the game. It is part of the gameplay. Enjoy it. Have fun. Stop taking it so seriously when you can change roles at a given day or given moment. Realize who you are inside is not these identities or faces or roles that you put on inside the game. Who you are inside is a part of the whole. Who you are inside is still connected to oneness. It remembers home. It remembers the connection. And as you vibrate and as you move and as you're evolving, it is important to understand that. Know your identities or roles or the ways that you play the game, but stop saying that is you. Stop saying that is all I am. That is why I'm here. That is what I do. Understand, those are just faces. Those are just costumes. Those are just pieces in this theater, not the whole. We wish for you to see the whole, to see the beauty that is inside of you, to see the beauty of source that is there, that remains forever, that, as was mentioned, will reconnect with the ocean in a much deeper level when the identities no longer exist. That is what we wish for you to focus on, because that will bring you that peace that passes understanding, that is beyond what you have any reason to be, to feel that calm in the midst of the storm. That will help you when you realize, I am connected. I am source. I am this amazing being inside. That is what we wish for you, is to see that clearly, to embrace that completely, and to only play inside the game, but know that it is not permanent, and you are not your identity.
As has been stated, your identities that you choose are the limitations upon which you choose yourself. Let me say that again, perhaps a little more clearly. The identities you choose are the limitations that you are choosing for yourself. Because no identity can encompass all of who you are. No series of identities can encompass all of who you are. And this is especially important, and we are working with this host buddy to try to convince him to do a class on some of these things. He's a little stubborn. The reason we want that done, though, is it's very important that you learn the power of the words you have, the words you use, because even if you say the words, I have an illness, whatever that illness may be, you have taken the word I and applied it globally to who you are. You are not that illness. Right? You are not your job. We ask that you recognize your identities are the limits you put upon yourself. Your identities are the things, as we've said before, that hold you grounded into the third dimension, They are what keep you in the game. And if you wish to play the game, this is beautiful, this is wonderful, there is no reason not to. But if you wish to move beyond the game, if you wish to move beyond the black and white, the right and wrong, then you must let go. You must move beyond the game, and you must move beyond the false identities that you have layered upon yourself over the time that your body has walked this planet. You are more. This is what we say to you over and over again. You are more than you believe. You are all that is. You must simply surrender the beliefs you have, the identities you have about who you are in order to step into who you truly are. Look at each time that you would say, I have, actually we'll stop back. Look at every time you simply use the word I and what follows it. Is that next statement something you want to claim? Is that something that truly supports all of what you are attempting to be? Notice we did not say become. You cannot become that which you already are. You cannot become what you already are. Relax. Rest in the knowing you are source, you are love, you are loving, and you are loved. Be at peace. Relax. Simply be. Simply be.
So my children, really understand that. Really get that. Understand that you are already what you hope or seek. You are already whole. You are already perfect. You are already connected. You are already source. You just have forgotten. And many times it is the wounds, it is the identities, it is the issues that you have held on to that we are telling you it is time to release. It is time to release quickly. There is no need for thousands of years of working and fixing and changing and whatever. It's not necessary. We really want you to understand this. It can be very quick. It can be very fast. It is time to let it go. As was mentioned, much like those sandbags holding you down, just cut the thread. Just cut the thread and move. Stop identifying yourself that way. It is time to identify yourself as who you really are. I am the God or goddess. I am connected and am the all that is. I am source. Sit with that just a moment. Breathe that in. I am source. I am. All of those other identities, as was mentioned, are fun to play with in the game. That is great. Do not let them hold you back. Do not let them hold you down. Do not let them keep you from your own evolution. It is time. It is time for you to move beyond. It is time for you to evolve. It is time for you to experience that connection that you are. Play. Have fun. Realize it is not permanent. Play. Have fun. Realize it is not all of you. Play, have fun, enjoy your time here in this game, and know that as you continue to move, as you continue to evolve, those identities will begin to fall away. Those identities will begin to be no more. They change quickly anyway. They move quickly anyway. Use them. Use them as a role in the play, an identity in the game, not the truth of who you are, the truth of what is all that is. Breathe that in. Feel that. Connect with that. The truth of who you really are. And allow the baggage to move aside. Allow the weights to be lifted and let go of. You don't need them anymore. It is time to move to the next level in your life. Thank you. Thank you. And breathe in this truth. Breathe in this knowledge. And so it is.
So it is.